So I have always loved entrepreneurship. So it started when I was knee-high selling lemonade on the street corner. No, that didn't have to do with my skills. It gave me confidence. And in some ways, that's how I find life works out. You don't have to just accept things the way they are. We can develop a better way to do something, clean the ocean. Free knowledge-based services where you can do your own self-study, learn things like how do I raise capital. So there's two spots you can join to start. One is you can join in our LinkedIn group, Entrepreneurs Network equals Eprenz. You can just join there, it's free.
All these new possibilities worldwide. Now let's just use it and change our mindsets to make it happen. PowerMinds, from a 0 members LinkedIn network to a more than 110K entrepreneurship community. That is the success story of Eprenz.com. And please join me for welcoming today's wonderful guest, David Wagstaff, who is the CEO, co-founder, and chief dream maker of this wonderful community. Hello there, David.
Hi, Alex. Thank you for the warm introduction. And I'm happy to be here with you today to be part of the PowerMinds, to have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you come to do this because I'm so excited about this network that you're running. Honestly, dear PowerMinds, you need to all check that out. I came across Eprenz.com and what they are doing. I mean, David is going to tell you all about it in a second. This is so good for entrepreneurs, for solopreneurs, for startup businesses, for small businesses, for mature businesses. Basically, you leverage their success. And tell us, first of all, about the mission of Eprenz.com.
Sure. So our mission is to make a meaningful difference for 100,000 social impact entrepreneurs all over the world, regardless of their differences, regardless of their gender identity, caste in society, skin color, wealth status, or any other difference which could be an advantage or disadvantage.
That is so powerful. So you have the social impact and you have the thing that you really an inclusive network. More about how this whole, fascinating story came about, because you told me in the conversation before our video, you had this great passion for entrepreneurship early on. How did that emerge in your life?
Sure. So I have always loved entrepreneurship. So it started when I was knee-high selling lemonade on the street corner. I was probably 7 years old and I struggled in school. Actually, I failed second grade. If you can fail second grade, I managed to achieve that. So I didn't have the confidence in my school abilities. But when I went to sell lemonade, we were on a really, really busy street corner. And so I sold gallons and gallons, whereas kids right around the corner, my friends, maybe only sold cups of lemonade because they weren't in the best location. So even though that didn't have to do with my skills, it gave me confidence. And in some ways, that's how I find life works out. All of a sudden I began to develop confidence, like, hey, I'm able to sell more than other kids. While I may not be the best academically, I can do this really well. And I went on to have multiple other childhood businesses, to the point where when I was in junior high, I was selling so much candy that I negotiated with a national grocery store chain, local branch of it, because I was selling 100 to 200 pieces per week. And again, that gave me more.
It's like amazing.
Exactly. And part of it's how the universe works. Again, there's a whole story, I won't get into all that, of how I got into candy sales, but it wasn't through my gift that I got into the candy sale, although I had a big sweet tooth. And it ended up being, again, I sold lots. And so it built my confidence in entrepreneurship. So when I began to think about my career choices, it's like, well, this actually looks kind of fun and I'm pretty good at it. And eventually, by the way, I did pretty well in school and went on to get a master's degree, et cetera, and did well on that. So, but it started with entrepreneurship giving me confidence at a time where I didn't have confidence in my sports abilities or academics. And so I found this space which lifted me up, and I believe it lifts other people up as well.
And that's what you're actually doing. And this network you founded is just doing that. You're actually basically lifting others up. And that is so powerful. This is what we need in the age of connection. We need these networks that actually give you power, confidence, motivation, and actually tell you, you are unique. You can do it in your way. There's no one predefined way. That's what you're saying as well, aren't you? There's no one predefined way of how to become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct. It's really find your path, find your road to success. And it's not always easy, right? It does take challenges and there can be difficulties to overcome. But ultimately, entrepreneurship is a major driver in the global economy. And
Mm,
so many people can do it regardless of their background, like we talked about, right? It could be someone who's from a poor community trying to overcome the challenges of poverty. And yet they can set up a fruit stand and they find they succeed in it and
yeah.
all of a sudden they feed their family. So that's the power of entrepreneurship. When it succeeds, it can be incredibly powerful and then relevant to today. It can help solve some of the challenges of sustainability and some of the
Yes.
other UN goals of achieving, equality and also a better outcome for the world in a number of different dimensions. And so we believe in that, believe in equality, believe in overcoming challenges like water challenges and other things. Entrepreneurships, because they're so creative, entrepreneurs,
Mm.
because they're creative, have the potential to solve many, many challenges that face us as a world, as humans today.
Yes, and this is basically you just outlined the major values of Eprenz, and this is why I decided to feature you, because that is what PowerMinds is about as well, to have this kind of reinforcement for people who want to make a difference and build more purposeful, better, as you said, sustainable lives. Because at the end of the day, it's about our planet. We need to all kind of use our brains to preserve our planet and make it livable for our children. And that is not out of a cinema movie or something, that is reality. And entrepreneurs are those, and we are all entrepreneurs. I always say we are all entrepreneurs. We all have ideas how to create value. As you just outlined, there just needs to be an idea and a moment where you see, oh, I can help this other person with that, or I can solve a problem with that. And then there you go. And that is, I think we all need to join forces in that, really.
I agree with that. And then we also encourage people to try to take on kind of conscious capitalism as a concept that's out there today. Do entrepreneurship in a way where you're not polluting the rivers, in a way where you
Oh,
are
yes.
taking care of future generations, because it is possible to do some of the things wrong and hurt others, inadvertently at times. So we want to try to encourage those who are doing the best work to make a difference for humankind and support them in succeeding, because it is incredibly difficult. Some stats show 90% of entrepreneurs fail. We're
Oh, I
out to
saw
change.
that. Yeah, I saw that statistic. And that, dear viewers, I want to underline that. That is also what Eprenz is about, to kind of overcome these hurdles, right? To help also entrepreneurs or companies or young starters or old starters, it doesn't matter, as you said, but to overcome these hurdles that can be in your way sometimes.
Absolutely. Our goal is to flip the ratio. We'd like to see 90% of socially conscious entrepreneurs succeed in achieving their dreams. Because if we can support them in achieving their dreams, we've actually made a difference for what it is to be a human.
Yeah, and that is so
We're
important.
entrepreneurs who like to dream big.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why also I would like to say again, your role in Eprenz, you say you're chief dream maker, and that is exactly what you're doing. I find that powerful as well, because it's about our dreams, and we should not, I would say, that's one of my sayings I say to everyone I meet, to my child, to other people, to friends, to people on PowerMinds, we should not become robots in this world. We should not think, oh, there's no other way. We should have these dreams, and it is really possible. If you believe in that it's possible, that's the first step, and then it will be possible.
I agree with you. It starts with having a dream, a vision is the way we might say it in business. But I like the concept of chief dream maker, right? Because we
Yeah.
start with what do we want to see the world become, right? And I do believe individuals can have a huge impact. And then collectively, we do have an enormous impact on the outcome of the world. And we don't have to just accept things the way they are. We can develop a better way to do something, clean the oceans or whatever the case may be. And that's the power of collective dream making. And so as chief maker, my role is to really support those that are having their dreams on how to do it so that they can formalize a vision and a mission for themselves and a business model, but also to encourage the dreams to make a difference for the world.
For those who are watching and say, oh, this is interesting, I will check this out. what can you answer to this, the classic question, what is in for me? So
every business kind of struggles to where do you get to where you are. Today, our services can be most neatly defined as free knowledge-based services where you can do your own self-study, learn things like how do I raise capital, or how do I overcome the challenge of hiring people, or how do I manage a remote team? So those questions and challenges that people often face, how do I sell? Those are available in a self-study format on our website, our web app at eprenz.com. That's the first layer of service. Then we have done with you services where we will help hold you accountable if you choose, or we can help coach you through some of those things. Like it's one thing to watch a video on how to sell. It's another thing when you have questions. Well, how frequently do I actually call? Or am I calling this person too much or not enough? And so that's the coaching services done for you. And that goes through things like consulting. So sometimes some of our clients say, you know, I'm generating $500,000 in sales, but I'm not earning enough to pay my family to, you know, live on. Even though the revenue's there, why not? And that often becomes kind of a consultative project. You know, the distinction between coaching and consulting is coaching is really helping the person mostly figure out the issues on their own, whereas consulting is more going in and analyzing and helping them figure out some of the solutions.
And providing solutions really custom made for that situation of the person. Yeah, that's great.
So that's our second of 3 services done with you. And then the final one is done for you. So sometimes entrepreneurs are so busy, they're like, hey, I appreciate it. I understand how to sell. You know, I appreciate that you could coach me through it, but can you just market my business for me?
Ah, so even you take over parts of the process.
Exactly. So we can do accounting services today. We can do a lot of back office services, technology, website building, publicity and PR and things like that. So there's a lot of back office services that we're doing for clients today.
And now this is really attractive because to all of those viewers who are actually scaling a business, because in that tricky bit, when you scale up, when you ramp up and you find yourself being torn in all sorts of directions, this is where this service comes in so handy, because being able to outsource some of the things you just can't handle anymore because of a time issue, that is valuable.
Exactly. So we offer things for everyone, we think. That's always a risk as a business. So I wouldn't necessarily advise everyone try to approach all markets, but we think there's a market for people who want to learn on their own, and we want to provide those resources. We've had hundreds of hours of events with thousands of people attend over the past few years. We package that so people can learn from those. That's the knowledge.
You provide also the events. You also provide the recorded events, and so people can access like a library of events that took place.
Exactly.
And maybe especially those who are on the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey, what would you recommend where to start with your network? I mean, the first part is, as I did as well, to join, right? It's free to join. And then what would be the first small steps in Eprenz?
Yep. So there's 2 spots you can join to start. One is you can join in our LinkedIn group, Entrepreneurs Network equals Eprenz. You can just join there. It's free. You can also go to our website where we have more resources available. On a LinkedIn group, you can interact with other members, you can communicate with other members, but you can't necessarily find the existing resources easily. So that's what we have the website and web app, and you can join the web app on the website. That gives you access to more organized, structured learning. We are actually continuing to work on organizing it better. So be a little patient with us if when you watch this, it doesn't feel perfectly organized, but the data is there. You just have to do a little bit more work to maybe find the program on how do I sell using LinkedIn or something like that. Okay, so that's a great way to go. And then if you want to kind of up the game from there, it really depends upon what your challenges are as a business owner.
And then it depends on the situation. Yeah,
exactly. Contact us. If you're looking for more of an organized structure, we do have that for a rate someone can pay for, like a virtual MBA for entrepreneurs. We have that available on our website as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really also, it's a mini, it's a learning platform as well. Totally.
Yep, we have learning platform. Again, we have each of the tools. We hope we're building those for what entrepreneurs need along their journey. So it can be kind of the one spot where you go to get support, whether you're trying to do it on your own, you want a little help, or you just want someone else to do it for you.
Yeah, it's very adaptable to each situation, actually. And final note, maybe it's worldwide. Of course, it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. I mean, all we need is internet access. That is important. And can you maybe also, as a final note, because I saw some of the testimonials on your website and I was like, this is so wonderful. Can you say some success stories from people that you helped with Eprenz?
Sure. So thanks for pointing that out. We have amazing customers who have been part of it, members who have been part of the community, who help one another. So I'll give you an example of one person in particular. This goes back about 3 years. We've been a formal business as about 4 years. And so early on, one of our members, I met with her just as welcoming her on board. And I asked her what she was about. And she's like, well, I want to do affiliate marketing and I'm learning about it. And I said, well, how would you like to do a presentation on affiliate marketing? And she said, I would love to do that because it gives me a chance to learn. And I'm not super confident as a speaker today, but it would give me a chance to do that. And so we ended up building a friendship as we walked through her presentation on affiliate marketing, which she did a wonderful job on, a month later or so. And then people attended it and they learned about it. She built a really nice business. And today, she said, I don't want to quote the number, but I want to say it's like 10 plus customers a year come through our network for things that she's doing. And she has a couple of services, including building a team of people that support some of the things she's doing.
Is she featured also on the website? I think I know who you're talking about. Is she giving a testimonial there?
That's right. She does have a testimonial.
Yeah, I saw it. It was really inspirational. I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, I can do a shout out to Lisa Harris. It's Lisa Harris. So if you go to the website, you'll see a bit of what she's doing. And she's doing some really great stuff. But we have a number of members like that. But she's one that's really an extraordinary member, and she's been really close with us over the years. And to the point where definitely it's good friendship.
What the new era of work should be about, isn't it? I always say we are in a new era of work. We have all these fantastic tools. We have all these new possibilities worldwide. Now let's just use it and change our mindsets to make it happen. And as you just described, I mean, you just in the past 4 years, or maybe even some time before that, of course, you made that happen and you're making it happen. It's great. Congratulations.
Thanks. I mean, maybe just as you were talking, it made me think about the other thing is you want to do this everywhere, not just for customers, but for your employees and teams. I had an employee call me this week, and I won't get into the details, but he'd had a challenging situation and he called for advice and listened. I had talked to him a few months ago and said, hey, if you ever have a challenge like this, just give me a call. And at the end of the weekend, he said, David, I am very happy. So he had solved the issue over the weekend, and you want to have friends all around. I am fortunate to be able to love the team I work with. And you want to have customers, people you love working with. Maybe you share a common theme of where you're aiming in society. And you want to have your teammates like that as well. And I think that's one of the big impacts of social impact businesses is people align around the mission, whether it's customers or whether it's team members or other people that are around you, freelancers, et cetera, or people like you that are actually promoting it. And that's wonderful.
Exactly. I have the same values. That's why I kind of naturally was kind of, I think my internet journey naturally led me to Eprenz because I have these values as well. So there you go. That just confirms it. Note to the viewers.
But just, I would encourage you to continue your aspirations, to live your dreams. I believe this isn't a practice life. This is the one go we have at it. So live the life that you love. Take on challenges. It's not always going to be a straight path, right? There are sometimes some curves around the way or some jigs and jags, but stick with your vision. Know where you're going. If you know where you're going, it's easier to get there. Famous saying is, if you don't know where you're going, any path will get you there. Set your true north, set where you're going, and then figure out how you're going to get there.